I'm Mrs. Anderson, and it's book club time. Woo, books. We're going to go through a bunch of books, and the idea of book club is that you have a home library. All the research is in. If you have a home library, you're going to read better. So our idea is to give you deep discounts and get you to have some books, some good books. These are seriously recommended books. February is our IB Learner Profile Thinkers, and it is Black History Month. So I'm going to tell you about the middle school books first. This is Feathers. Feathers comes from a poem talking about hope. And it's this girl, her name is Franny. She hadn't thought much about it. She was worried about her brother. She's worried about school, blah, blah, blah. Then this boy comes to the school. The difference is he's white. It's not a white school. Everybody has to start seeing things in a little bit different way. It's kind of fascinating. It's kind of wonderful. Jacqueline Woodson won the National Book Award for a different book, but she did an amazing job with this book. It is a 4.4. It is worth 4 AR points. We're selling it for only $4. Worth every penny. Just a great read. Our second book is Yard War. This book kills me. This one is set in a time of segregation. And this boy, the woman he is closest to, the woman who's like a mother to him, is the maid. She is black. Her son is black. This is his best friend. All he wants to do is play football in the front yard with his friend. That's when he finds out how racist his neighbors are. And he has to figure it out. And the family has to figure it out. They might lose their house if he plays football in the front yard with his best friend. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. You got to read it. It's a fabulous book. Got to read it. This one is a 4.8. Is worth 7 points, and it is $2. $2. Exactly. $2. You got to buy this book. This is a book called Pay It Forward. Obviously, it's right there. This book is about a boy who is given a extra credit assignment that he doesn't have to do, but he can do. And it's to think of something that might change the world and write it up, make it a project. And he's like, I'm just a kid. How can I change the world? Then he thinks of this idea. His idea is that you do 3 good things. They have to be big things, but just for 3 people that you don't know, that aren't your family. 3 good things for strangers. But instead of asking for something in return, he's going to ask them to pay it forward, to do it for someone else. They are amazing characters. It is so well written. It is such a great book. There's a couple of twists that are kind of interesting. He doesn't know if they're going to do it or not. I mean, he's just doing these really amazing things for these other people. And it could change the world, and it's really good. It is a 5.1. It is worth 12 points. This book is only $2. It's a really good read. It's very realistic. It's very normal. There was a major motion picture made out of this book, but it's better to read the book because the book's better. High school books. Junior high kids, yes, you can buy the high school books, but you have to get a note from your parents saying it's okay. First one, this is kind of a stereotypical one for Black History Month, but everybody has to read this book. You have to read this book. I did not want to read this book. I did not want to read it. I did not want to read it. And then I met this lady who it was her favorite book in the world, and I really respected her and I really liked her. And I thought, okay, if she thinks so highly of this book, I will read it. To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, it's old-timey words. It's old-timey. It's Atticus Finch is a lawyer. He is defending a man who is accused of harming a white woman. It is back in the day. There's a whole bunch about the trial itself, which is just fascinating. They do some really interesting, like, lawyer type things, and there's also, most of the book is actually about these three kids. It's Scout and Jem and their little friend who comes from another city, and Boo Radley down the street. Boo Radley. He hasn't been seen in 20, 30 years. Nobody's seen this man. He is a mystery to everybody. And kids make up stories about him and why he's sitting alone in his house and all of that stuff. And he's scary. And there's all this wonderful stuff I can't even explain about him, but it's really good. This one is a 5.6. It is worth 15 points. If you need AR points, 15 points. $4 for this classic, wonderful, amazing book that you've got to read and you've got to own. You can't go off to college without reading this book. You can't go without reading this book. This one, Romeo and Julio. This is such a great book. Obviously, it's a Romeo and Juliet story. Obviously, one of them is Hispanic, the other one's black. We got the gang thing, we got the family thing, we got everything. Nobody approves of them and having a relationship, period. They're opposites. They shouldn't be together, but they are, kind of. Well, you got to read it. Really, really good book. Got to read it.
Which one's black and which one's Mexican?
Julio?
Oh, Julio's Mexican.
This one is a 4.7. It is worth 10 points. $4. You want to buy this book? It's $4. And then finally, this one is like the mind killer by an explosion, whatever it's called. The Freedom Maze is about a girl who, it's 1960, so we're in our really difficult time in American history with African Americans. She doesn't want to go to her grandma's house, but she goes to her grandma's house, and she ends up back in 1860, 2.5 years before the Emancipation Proclamation. And her ancestors mistake her for a slave. It's crazy. I don't even have anything to say about this book because you got to read it. It's fabulous. It is a 5.1. It is worth 11 points. This is a $4 book. If you want it for $4, The Freedom Maze, $4, you can buy it anytime. Well, you can get these in my room, 1119. I am Mrs. Anderson. I should have said that at the beginning. I'll have to do that now. I am here Mondays and Tuesdays after school from 3 o'clock to about 4:30. I have creative writing. You can come and join creative writing. Or you can come and buy books. I'm also here, during the day, come before school, whatever. I'm here after school for, half an hour.